2 years ago, my father came frighteningly close to death. His condition was so grave, in fact, that his doctors advised my mother to keep my brother Dominic and I out of school to be with him because they feared he may not survive. He had spent a full month in the intensive care unit before his condition began to improve, at which time he carefully explained to me how he had ended up in that state. Earlier that year, my father visited our local emergency department for severe stomach pains. He sought not only relief from his pain, but a thorough examination to determine the cause of his pain. The doctor who treated him dismissed his concerns, sending him home with instructions to simply take Tylenol. Shortly thereafter, what one doctor considered to be nothing more than a common stomachache turned out to be life-threatening. An undiagnosed and subsequently untreated blood clot in my father's intestinal tract would require not one but 2 major surgeries. The second surgery was completely avoidable had the first one been performed properly, and my father would not have been through as much suffering if his anesthesiologist had not somehow allowed him to wake up during the procedure. Thankfully, it was God's will that my father survived this ordeal, and he is seated here listening to me deliver this speech. Because of his experience, I am determined to someday provide my patients the kind patient care and full attention they deserve, the care he and all patients deserve, but which my father's doctors unfortunately did not provide. Though my father has struggled with his health, I am proud of both his and my mother's strength through hard times. I know that they would like to give my brother and me the world if they could, but unfortunately they have not had easy lives themselves. Due to the health issues he has had throughout the years, my father has been unable to work as most parents do. Without the stability provided by 2 incomes, my parents have struggled to maintain ownership of our home. With the damage caused by Hurricane Irene in 2011, it became impossible for them to make regular payments on their mortgage. While my peers were consumed with the excitement of 8th grade dances, school trips, and graduation, I entered my 8th grade year with the uncertainty and fear of having no place to live. Even with the probability of losing our home, we never lost sight of our faith, a fact that I attribute to my mother, who is a constant source of inspiration and hope for me. In the midst of our financial struggles, my mother held firm to her wish. Without knowing exactly how it would be possible, she encouraged me to apply to my dream school, Mary Help of Christians Academy. I still remember the day I received my acceptance letter. The letter said the school would give me a $3,500 academic scholarship annually. Inconsolable, I broke into tears, knowing full well that my parents could not afford the remainder of the cost. With mixed emotions, my parents offered a comfort by explaining the difference between scholarships and financial aid and telling me that there was still hope. Through the Salesian Sisters, we would later learn of the Tri-County Scholarship Fund, and with the guidance of the admissions office, we prepared my application for submission. Soon enough, I would receive an additional $3,500 in scholarship money towards my education. I was ecstatic. And while I was always a dedicated and motivated student, I knew then that I was no longer working for just myself or even for my family. I suddenly had a team of supporters who believed in my potential, so much so that they would invest in my future without ever having met me. Having God, my family, and now my benefactors in my corner, I knew that nothing I dared to dream could possibly be out of reach. I know now that life is a journey, and that our dreams change and develop as we do. Once, I dreamt of attending Mary Help, and I thank Tri-County for making that dream come true. Now I dream of college, medical school, and landing my first job as a doctor. But as those visions come to fruition, I will be free to dream new dreams, like adopting a child, serving on a hospital's ethics committee, being the director of an emergency department, and of traveling to a third world country to provide free medical care. I dream of living a life of gratitude for the support I have been shown. I dream of emulating donors like you who have given to students like me. To everyone in attendance tonight, I cannot thank you enough. You are role models. Without you, my experience would have been quite different and likely far more difficult. You have alleviated my family's burden, enabled me to focus on my academic and spiritual growth, and freed me to enjoy my education without the weight of worry about its cost. I can only hope you too take pride in any success I may achieve, which is thanks to you and in part yours to share.